Hello! I got this awesome flower and I wanted to share it with you because it's so beautiful and it's looking at you. Yeah, my friend gave that to me and that's really nice. It's brightening up my room and there's some other flowers in the rest of my house. I'm looking pretty bright now because I got a coffee and I had a good physiotherapy appointment. So it's been a terrible week, by the way. and but I always talk about, oh, there's highs and lows, and now is like a massive low, but I'm still surviving. And after having been stuck in bed for feels like half the week and killer migraines and other things that have been going on, but we're here. And I went out the other day with my friend, even though I was so fatigued, and just getting out of bed and putting my face on and getting out of the house made me feel more alive and made me feel less tired. And even though I was just collapsing at the end of the night, but so if you're feeling crappy, just try and get out of bed and do something anyway. Yeah, and even though emotionally things are a bit hard at the moment, I'm going out tonight and I'm determined. This is I'm determined gesture. I'm determined to have fun and enjoy spending time with my friends and seeing the Vivid Festival, which is happening in Sydney. So it's my first time going out. I need to fix my English, but anyway, for the first time in a long time, I'm going out to Sydney City tonight, and we're going to see the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House and lots of other famous things by light in the night. Oh dear, you can tell I'm really tired even though I've had this coffee, because I talk a lot when I've had coffee, but then I'm also tired and I talk sometimes when I'm overtired. So sorry, this video makes no sense, but I'm just showing you my real life. And sometimes it's hard for me to talk about everything that I want to talk about in this video, or like I can't be as open as I might want to be about some of my situations, like my work I don't talk about specifically and that kind of thing. But imagine if you were right here with me, like sharing a cuppa, then I would just tell you everything and listen to everything that's going on with you. But so anyway, ramble chatting as if I would if you're right here with me, and enjoy my flower. It's actually the same as the tree leaves outside, I noticed, because it's autumn or fall here, and the leaves are falling and making a beautiful mess on the street, like the beautiful mess of my life, like a fire burning up and refining to make things new. So now I'm having all these deep philosophical thoughts, which is not what I planned to talk about. But yes, goodbye message. So I'm determined to go out and have fun with my friends, and because it's really encouraged me when other people have shared videos or photos of their trips and going outside. So I'm going to take you on my adventure, and hopefully after watching this rambling chatting, you can see some highlights of the lights by night in Sydney City. Yeah. Yes. You know, last night I had all those ideas again of like, tomorrow I'm going to video like all these things that I want to talk about, and hashtag FND, hashtag brain fog, hashtag memory problems. I don't remember those things, but you know how we are FND fighters. We're like warriors, but we're really kind of weak, pathetic. I physically can't do very much at all kind of warrior. And, you know, in my life, I've been many different kinds of warriors, like a female warrior, an eco warrior, a spiritual warrior, and now I'm an FND fighter, but I've managed to grow my hair long enough to do a Katniss Everdeen braid, and Whenever I have a new season in my life, I often change my hairstyle. So it's just about time to do a very different hairstyle. And, you know, I have had ideas for ages and then not brave enough or not in the right situation to change it a lot. So next video might have a big change, but I managed to grow my hair long enough to do this warrior braid that I don't even know how to do it really, so I'll have another go. But yes, you're a warrior even if you don't feel like it, because you're fighting every day and you're surviving and you're doing so well. Today at my physiotherapy appointment, she said to me, "Oh, I can see how you're really improving a lot." Like, what? But I've had all these new symptoms, and I had a really bad week and I could barely make it out of bed, and I had to sleep after having a shower because I got so fatigued after having a shower, and that's all I did that day. And she said, "No, I can see that your symptoms have maybe reduced, although I think I've gotten new symptoms and gotten worse." But she said, over a long time, you're actually getting better, and it might take a long time, but like, you are getting better and you have to see things that way. And I said, "Thank you so much for saying that," because it's hard to see it yourself, especially if you have some down patches. And this is all about pacing, where you, like, it's not like trying to improve a lot and then crash and then you have to like go up and crash again. But it's like improving a little bit, and then you have a down bit, and then improving, and then you have ups and downs, but actually gradually you do much better in the long run. And so it's helpful to have someone else say that to you, and like, look, you're doing so well, you're doing all the right things, you're taking care of yourself, you're resting, you're pushing it a little bit, but you're not overdoing it, and you are gradually getting better, and you are going to get there. You are going to get there. So it's really helpful to have someone who's a professional to say that to me, and okay, well, I can't trust myself, but I can trust you because you've seen me over 2 or 3 months from the outside. And excuse me, so having someone say to you that you are improving, that's so helpful. So I think that's part of our fight, is to encourage one another and to tell each other, hey, you had a really rough day, but you managed to get out of bed, so you're doing awesome. Or, you know what, you're in a lot of pain, but you still love your children and that's what they need, and you're doing awesome. I think it's so important to keep encouraging each other and having positive people around you who can be with you and support you along the way. So I'm really thankful for you, friends, for cheering me on. And yeah, and the other thing that I've been thinking about recently in relation to this fighting is that I wonder if people who have chronic fatigue syndrome or who have FND, if we are actually overachievers. Someone said that people who get chronic fatigue syndrome is often like the A-type personality who really is actually working very hard, and you are not lazy. You are not lazy, but you're actually working so hard, and you hit some eventual shutdown point where you just, everything crashes. And maybe you were doing things, being really hard on yourself, and obviously you wouldn't have wanted to get to that point, and now you might regret that. And so I've been wondering about that, because I'm that kind of like overachiever, care too much about pleasing other people but don't want to, and all those things. So I'm curious about this. If you have FND or a movement disorder, if you think that you are that kind of like really striving to do your best all the time, or perfectionist, or if you are that kind of wanting to achieve type personality, I'd be really curious to hear if that's a thing, because it's really frustrating when you can't do stuff that you want to do. Or, sorry about this squeaky chair, I don't know if you can hear it, but that's one of the things I want to do, redecorate my basically empty room and get a chair that doesn't squeak and make me sound like I'm farting when I'm not. Again, silliness before the fun really starts. So Yeah, so in my life, I think I've been fighting in so many ways for such a long time. And like the people that I used to work with were always saying like, keep going, you can do it. And like, just put your effort into it. And it's a lesson I learned in high school. If you try hard enough, you can achieve your dreams. It's like a Disney thing. Like if you wish for it and you work hard for it, you can achieve your great American dream. And well, I'm from down under, so your Australian dream, whatever that means. But like fighting for so many things for so long, but there are no guarantees. Like just because you work hard at something doesn't mean you're going to get what you want. A lot of the time we don't have control, and you just feel so let down if you work for stuff that doesn't result in anything. And so many people around me just fighting. And I wonder if it actually damages us to have that mentality all the time. And when people say to me, oh, don't give up hope and keep fighting, but fighting is so exhausting, isn't it? You can't live in a war zone all the time. Like you'll die. So yeah, I've been thinking about what it means to accept my condition and accept my situation. And some people, it takes them years, like 3 years or something, to accept your chronic illness and learn how to manage your life. And I think for me, it's an ongoing process to accept. And I don't know the future, so it's kind of just accepting where I'm at right now. What is today? How are you today? Or how is your today? And yeah, fighting is so exhausting. And I think not surrendering, but kind of like surrendering, like frozen, let it go, and being rather than doing, accepting rather than striving, because doing things in your own effort, it's so empty. I don't know if you ever feel that, but people who are really successful, maybe they sacrifice all their relationships for their work, and then they make so much money, or they like get to some great powerful place, but they've lost everyone that they love along the way. And yeah, I read this really interesting article about the illustrious President Trump, and how he's become kind of the most powerful person on the earth in some ways at the moment, but in other ways you almost pity him, because he must be one of the most lonely people in the world that has such power. And he sends out a tweet and millions of people fight to respond to get reactions, and yeah, he has such power, but there's also a lot of brokenness that I think comes along with that. And no one's life is perfect, and my life is certainly not perfect, and I have lots of regrets, but I don't want to regret. There's some things I don't want to try so hard and regret them. So I've been thinking about this acceptance, which is not like giving in. It's not giving up. It's not a sense of resignation, but it's an acceptance. It's like not running away from something and not running towards something, but it's just like having your arms open and an embrace, and then like allowing the embrace on yourself to just be. And when, like for me, I've lost so many things in the last couple of years. I've had, you know, people, close people pass away. I've moved house so many times in the last 5 years and packed up my life, and I'm probably going to do it again in the next couple of months. And that's so exhausting and sad. And to not minimize that, to not minimize what's hard, and like, you need to grieve over things that are sad, and that's normal. That's not depression, that's acknowledging the value of what's lost. And I'm gonna be like the grief expert by the end of my life. Maybe I should be a grief counselor. Anyway, but yeah, being able to process all that and come to acceptance. And yeah, I've been thinking about when you lose everything, and I haven't lost everything, but I've kind of lost everything that I once, you know, things that I enjoyed and people and places. But when you lose everything, then you get to find out what's really important. And there's a really great quote by some dude hundreds of years ago, and you know, it's very poetic in the original language, but I translate it as like, everything else is rubbish. Like, if you compare what's really valuable and all the other stuff, like say you tried to have your successful job and your perfect family and buying your $1 million dream home and all those things that you thought had worth, and then finding out what's really important and what lasts forever, maybe things that you can't see. So thinking about all that, that's like rubbish. That's like a tip. That's what is that? Like a soiled diaper. But not just one diaper, there's like 10 million diapers at the diaper dump. And all those things are just smelly, stinky rubbish compared to what's really important. So I'm not trying to minimize the hard things, but I've been thinking that, you know, when you lose everything, then you have the opportunity to find out what's really important. So thanks for being on the journey with me to help me to continue to find out what's really important. And of course, my hope is always for you that you can find out what's really important, and the things that do really matter, they last forever. And these like temporary things that disappear, that let us down, you know, that hurt us, that, yeah, they don't last. They're like rust on an old pair of scissors. They're like the poo on the nappy at the tip. Those things don't last forever, and they stink and they suck. And but so we can let go of those things and yeah, think about what's really important and what will last. So this beautiful flower, it's not gonna last forever. It's just a temporary thing, but I can enjoy it while it's so beautiful, and then I can let it go. And I've got some seeds that I want to plant, some herbs. So I'm going to plant some herbs and let them grow. And I'll be treasuring tonight time with friends and family and enjoying the stuff that gives us fun out of life and making new memories. But, you know, I'll also be thinking about, well, what does last forever, and how do I just invest my time and my heart into those things, so that, yeah, I'm not going to lose what lasts forever. So, wow, this ended up being quite a long existentialist video. So we'll see how we go tonight and what I end up recording and taking photos of, which, you know, you'll be watching straight away if you've managed to sit through all my chattiness. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now.